Hello everyone and welcome to the biology lecture series, and today we'll be discussing the topic human reproduction. Okay, so humans, they are quite complex, they are higher organisms, and sexual reproduction takes place in the humans. Okay, so what is involved in the sexual reproduction? Okay, so let's talk about this. Humans, they undergo sexual reproduction. Okay, and sexual reproduction involves two parents, means it is biparental. It involves two parents. One of the parent is the male parent, another one should be the female parent. So male parent, okay, another one is the female parent. So there are two opposite sexes involved. Okay, now the male parent will produce the male gamete. Okay, which is known as the sperm. Whereas the female parent, it will produce the female gamete, which is known as the egg. Okay, both the sperm and the egg, these are haploid because they are produced by meiosis. Okay, then what happens? The sperm and the egg, they fuse with each other. Clear? So first of all, what is happening here? Two parents are involved. Then there is the formation of the or production of the gametes. Okay, so this process is known as gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is the formation of sperms, formation of the gametes or production of the gametes. We have seen there are two gametes. One is the male gamete, another one is the female gamete. Okay, now after the gametes have been produced, then they fuse with each other, and this process is known as fertilization. Okay, now the sperm, it will fuse with the egg. Okay, then the product form will be zygote. Clear? So this is known as this fusion of the male and the female gamete. This is known as fertilization. Fertilization is the fusion of male and the female gamete. Okay, so zygote will be a diploid structure. So it is a unicellular diploid structure. It is a unicellular diploid structure. Okay, and zygote will further, okay, it will form the embryo, and then from the embryo, a new individual will develop. Okay, this is clear. Now let's talk about first we'll talk about the male reproductive system today in this lecture. Okay, so male reproductive system, obviously it is involved in the production of the male gametes, which are known as the sperms. Now, we are aware that the humans are sexually reproducing and they are viviparous. What is viviparous? Means they give birth to the young ones. They give birth to the young ones. Okay. Now, the reproductive events in the humans include formation of the gametes. I've already told you this is known as gametogenesis. Okay. Then that is the sperm are produced in the male and ovum is produced in the female. Ovum, you can also call it as egg. Okay, then there is the transfer of the sperm into the female genital tract. This is known as insemination. Okay, and then the fusion of the male and the female gamete takes place, which is known as fertilization, leading to the formation of the zygote. Clear? So what are the steps here? Okay, gametogenesis and then insemination and then fertilization. Clear? So first is the gametogenesis. Second is the insemination. And then after insemination, there is the fusion of the gamete, which is known as the fertilization. Okay. Fusion of gametes takes place after the insemination, which is known as fertilization. Okay. So gametogenesis and insemination should be post-fertilization event. These are post-fertilization events. Okay. Then you have the fertilization. Sorry, these are the pre-fertilization events. Okay. These are the pre-fertilization events, means before fertilization. Okay. Then you have the fertilization, and after fertilization, you have the post-fertilization event, means after fertilization. So after fertilization, what develops? The zygote will develop. So zygote is a structure which is formed after fertilization. Okay, then zygote, it will form the embryo. And embryo, it will form the new individual. Okay, so first is pre-fertilization, second is fertilization, and third is post-fertilization. Okay, so we were talking about the zygote. Now, this is followed by the formation and development of the blastocyst. So after zygote, a blastocyst is formed. Okay, I've told you that after the zygote, embryo is formed. So before embryo, there is one stage known as the blastocyst. Okay, so a blastocyst is formed, and this is followed by the attachment of the blastocyst to the uterine wall. This is known as implantation. Okay, clear? So after the zygote is formed, next is the development of the blastocyst, and blastocyst gets attached to the uterine wall, and this phenomena is known as implantation. Now next is the embryonic development, which is known as the gestation. Clear? And last one is the delivery of the baby, which is known as parturition. So you should remember all these terms. What is gestation, parturition? Okay, what is blastocyst? Okay, what is implantation? Clear? Now the blastocyst is a structure formed in the early development of the mammals. Okay, so it is formed in the mammals. Humans are mammals. Okay, and what are mammals? Mammals are the organisms which have the mammary gland, and also they have the hairs on them. So these are the characteristic feature of the mammals. So humans are mammals. So if we talk about the female, so they have the mammary gland. Okay, and we have the hairs also present on the skin. Okay, so this blastocyst is a structure formed in the earlier development of the mammals, including human, which is typically about 5 to 6 days after the fertilization. So this structure is formed, okay, typically about 5 to 6 days after the fertilization. Clear? So first the zygote will be formed, and then from the zygote, blastocyst development will take place. Then from the blastocyst, the mature embryo will form. Then the embryo development will take place, which is known as gestation. And finally, the baby will be delivered. Now, blastocyst consists of hollow sphere of cells within an inner cell mass. Then the blastocyst is crucial in the process of implantation. Okay, blastocyst is very crucial in the process of implantation, where it adheres to the uterine wall and eventually develops into the embryo. Okay. Now, you must have learned that these reproductive events, they occur after the puberty. Okay, the first is the adolescent stage and next stage is the puberty. Now, what is puberty? Puberty is the stage of development when adolescents undergo physical as well as the hormonal changes leading to the sexual maturity. Okay, so this is known as puberty. At puberty, you reach the sexual maturity and the primary sex organs, okay, which is the testes and the ovaries, they start producing the sex hormones. And there are a lot of physical changes also. There are a lot of hormonal changes also because there is a production of the hormones. Okay. There are a lot of physical changes also. There is a development of secondary sexual characters. Physical changes means there will be development of secondary sexual characters. Okay. Like if you talk about males, deepening of the voice. Okay. If you talk about females, development of the mammary gland, pubic hairs. Okay. Then what happens when you reach the puberty? You get the sexual maturity, which is because the primary sex organs. What are the primary sex organs? So these primary sex organs, what is the function of them? These synthesize the or these secrete the hormones. Okay, they secrete the sex hormones. Now, in males, what is the sex hormone? So male sex organs are also known as the androgens. They are also known as the androgens. And what is the example of that? Testosterone. Okay. Then you have the female hormones. Okay, female sex organ hormones, which are what? Estrogen and progesterone. Clear? Now, these hormones, male hormones, these are produced by the testes because testes is the primary sex organ. And primary sex organ in females, it is known as the ovaries. Okay, what are these? These are the primary sex organ. Apart from primary sex organ, okay, the humans also have the secondary sex organ or accessory sex organ. Okay, clear? Both of these are primary sex organs. Clear? In males, you have the testes. In females, you have the ovaries. Testes, they will secrete the male sex organ known as the androgens. Example is the testosterone, and the ovaries, they will produce the female sex organs. Examples are estrogen and progesterone. Okay. Now, there is a remarkable difference between the reproductive events in the male and as well as in the female. For example, the sperm formation continues even in the old man, but the formation of the ovum ceases in the woman around the age of, okay, 50 years. Clear? So sperm production keeps on going on even in the old men. Okay, although the viability will be very less, but the sperms keeps on producing. Whereas if we talk about the females, at the age of 50, the formation of the ovum ceases. It stops. Now let us examine the male as well as the female reproductive system now. Okay, so first in this lecture, we'll talk about the male reproductive system. The male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. Okay, so this is the figure showing you the diagrammatic sectional view of the male pelvis showing the reproductive system. This is the male reproductive system. So you can see all the parts here. Testes, which is the primary sex organ, it is present within the scrotum. Okay, we'll talk about all of this testes, scrotum, okay, in the upcoming lectures. For now, you have to remember, okay, all this structure. Okay, here you can see this is the foreskin. Okay, which is present in the penis. This is the glans penis. We'll talk about this later. Okay, this is the urethra through which the urine is discharged. Okay, so males, they have a common duct through which the sperms are also released and urine also released. Okay, this is known as urinogenital tract. This is the penis, which is the organ, copulatory organ. Here you have the prostate gland. These are the vas deferens, seminal vesicles. We'll talk about these also. What is vas deferens, seminal vesicles? So these are the ducts. Okay, seminal vesicles, vas deferens, these are the ducts. Here you can see ureter. So ureter is coming from the kidney. Okay, so if you know about the excretory system in the humans, it consists of a pair of kidneys, and from each kidney arises the ureter. And then ureter will discharge its contents into the urinary bladder, and then the urine is eliminated or discharged out of the body through the opening known as the urethra. Okay, here you can see this is the ejaculatory duct, and here is the rectum, which is the part of the digestive system. Okay, it stores feces for some time, and then the feces is eliminated out of the body through the opening known as anus. Here you can see this is the bulbourethral gland. We'll talk about this also. Okay, so you should remember all the parts of the male reproductive system. Clear? Now, let's talk about male reproductive system. It includes a pair of testes. So, pair of testes is present. 2 testes are present. Okay, along with the accessory ducts, glands, and the external genitalia. Clear? So, this, what does male reproductive system includes? It includes 2 testes. Okay, along with these testes, accessory ducts are present. Okay, accessory glands are present, and external genitalia is also present. Now, the testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch known as scrotum. Okay, so testes are present in the scrotum. Why they are present in the scrotum? Okay, because the scrotum helps in maintaining the low temperature of the testes, which is around 2 to 2.5 degree Celsius lower than the normal internal body temperature. Clear? So this lower temperature is required for the spermatogenesis, means formation of the sperms, or you can say formation of the spermatozoa. Okay, so formation of sperms require a temperature, okay, lower than the normal internal body temperature. What is the normal body temperature? It is 37 degrees Celsius. But the production of the sperms, it requires a temperature lower than this normal body temperature, around 2 to 2.5 degree Celsius lower than this normal body temperature, and then only the production of sperm can take place, and the scrotum helps in maintaining the low temperature which is required for the spermatogenesis. Okay, now in adults, each testis is oval shaped with a length of about 4 to 5 centimeter and a width of about 2 to 3 centimeter. Okay, now this is an image showing you the, so this is a diagrammatic view of male reproductive system. Okay, now here you can see the part of the testis is open to show you the inner detail. Here the testis you can see, so there are 2 pair of testes. Okay, this is another testis, this one. Here they have shown you the open view of the testes. So testes consist of this retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and it consists of the testicular lobules. Clear? Here you can see this is the vasa deferens. These are the ureter, which is coming from the kidney. This is the urinary bladder. So urine is stored for some time in the urinary bladder. So ureter, they discharge their contents in the urinary bladder. Clear? And the urine is discharged outside of the body through the opening known as the urethra. Okay, here you can see this is a seminal vesicle, this is the prostate, this is the bulbourethral gland. Okay, we'll talk about this in the upcoming slides. Clear? This is the glans penis. Okay, this is the foreskin. Clear? And you should remember that the sperms and the urine, these are discharged, okay, by a common opening. Clear? And this is known as the urinogenital tract. Clear? Now let's move on. Now testes, let's talk about the testes. Now testes is covered by a dense covering, And each testis has about 250 compartments, which are known as the testicular lobules. Okay, so each testis consists of 250 testicular lobules. It is made up of lobules. Now, each lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules in which sperms are produced. Clear? So you should remember what is each lobule. So there were 250 lobules. Now each lobule will contain 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. So these seminiferous tubules, they are highly coiled. Okay, and within these seminiferous tubules, these sperms are produced. Clear? Now, each seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside by 2 types of cells called the male germ cell, also known as the spermatogonia, and the Sertoli cells. Clear? So this is a diagrammatical section view of the seminiferous tubule. So this is showing you the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so what we have read, each seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside. So on the inner side, what is present? Spermatogonia as well as the Sertoli cells. Okay, so here you can see this is the spermatogonia. Okay, here is the spermatozoa. Clear? So within the seminiferous tubule, what was happening? The production of the sperms, means spermatogenesis is happening. Production of the sperms is happening here. Okay, spermatozoa. This will mature into sperms. Okay, spermatozoa, this one. This is spermatogonia, also known as the male germ cells. Here you can see the Sertoli cells, and this is the interstitial cells, also known as the Leydig cells. Okay, so Sertoli cells, it has a nutritive function. It provides nutrition to the spermatogonia. Clear? So what is the role of Sertoli cells? Sertoli cell provides nutrition. And these interstitial cells, also known as the Leydig cells. What is the real role of these Leydig cells? Okay, it produces the male hormones. Okay, it produces the male hormone. And what is the male hormone? It is the testosterone. So it produces testosterone. Okay, clear? Now let's move on to the next slide. Now the male germ cells, okay, which are known as spermatogonia, obviously these should be diploid. Okay, so these undergo meiotic divisions. And what are meiotic divisions? Meiotic divisions, these are the reductional division. So what will happen after meiosis? The chromosome number should reduce to half. Okay, so the chromosome number should reduce to half. Okay, this is the feature of the meiosis. Another feature of meiosis is that recombination takes place during meiosis. Okay, which is the source of the variation. Clear? So male germ cells which are diploid, they will undergo meiosis. Meiosis takes place in the diploid cell. Clear? Now, finally leading to the sperm formation, while the Sertoli cells provide nutrition to the germ cells. Clear? So spermatogonia, which are also known as the male germ cells, this will undergo meiosis finally to produce the sperm. So spermatogonia, it is a diploid structure, and the sperm will be haploid because it is being produced by meiosis. Clear? Now the region outside the seminiferous tubules is known as the interstitial space, and it contains small blood vessels and interstitial cells or the Leydig cells. So interstitial cells are also known as the Leydig cells. Clear? Let's read it again. The region outside. So region outside the seminiferous tubule. We were talking about the region inside the seminiferous tubule. Now let's talk about the region outside the seminiferous tubule. It is known as the interstitial space, and it contains small blood vessels as well as the interstitial cells, which are also known as the Leydig cells. Now, what is the role of the Leydig cells? So, Leydig cells synthesize and secrete the testicular hormones known as the androgens. So, androgens are known as the male hormones. Okay, and which type of hormone? I've already told you, testosterone. Clear? So, Leydig cells secretes the testosterone. And what is the function of the testosterone? Okay, it helps in the development of the secondary sexual characters. Leydig cells, they also help in the spermatogenesis, formation of sperms also. Okay, now the Leydig cells, what are Leydig cells? These are the specialized cells. They are also known as the interstitial cells, which are found in the testes of the male. Now, they play a crucial role in the production of the testosterone, which is the primary male sex hormone. Okay, now other immunological competitor cells are also present in the testes. Okay, again here you can see this is the male reproductive system. You can see different parts of the male reproductive system, and here they have shown you a part of the testis is open to show you the inner details. Now you can understand it consists of testicular lobules, which consists of the seminiferous tubules. Okay, and we have already discussed about the seminiferous tubule, what type of cells are present inside and what type of cells are present outside. Okay, then the male accessory ducts you can see. You can see here, these are the male accessory ducts. Retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, as well as vas deferens. These are the male sex accessory ducts. Okay, so in the starting we were talking that the male reproductive system, okay, it consists of what? It consists of the pair of the testes. So the male reproductive system, it consists of the testes, then which are two. Then after testes, accessory ducts were also present, and then accessory glands were present, and what else was present? Okay, the external genitalia. Clear? So we are talking about the accessory ducts now. It consists of the retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, as well as the vas deferens. Okay, clear? So these are also present in the testes. So this is the testis. Okay, now let's talk about what is retitestis. So a network of tubules in the testes where the sperm from the seminiferous tubules is collected and transported to the vasa efferentia. This is known as the retitestis. So it is a network of tubules which is present in the testes. Okay, where the sperms from the seminiferous tubule. So sperms are collected from the seminiferous tubules. Okay, and they are transported to the vasa efferentia. Now, what is vasa efferentia? Thin ducts that carry the sperms from the retitestis to the epididymis, aiding in the transport of the sperm. So, what is the role of the accessory duct system? Transport of the sperms. Okay. Now, epididymis, it is a tightly coiled tube attached to the testicle where the sperms are stored and matured, and they gain motility before they enter the vas deferens. Okay, so this is the role of epididymis. Vasa deferentia or retitestis, what is the role? Collection of the sperm from the seminiferous tubule. Then vasa efferentia, it helps in the transport of the sperms. Okay, it carries the sperm from the retitestis to epididymis. Then epididymis, what is happening within the epididymis? Sperms are stored, they are matured, okay, and they also gain motility before they enter into the vas deferens. Now, what is vas deferens? It is a muscular tube that carries the mature sperms, okay, from the epididymis to the urethra, okay, during the ejaculation. Clear? So vas deferens, it carries the mature sperms. Clear? And vas deferens will discharge the sperms into the urethra, and from the urethra it will be, it will travel outside the body through the ejaculation process. Clear? So what is the role of accessory duct system? So what we were studying the accessory duct system of the males. Okay, this is a part of the male reproductive system. Clear? So what is the role here? Role of the accessory duct system is to transport, if you see the overall role, transport of sperms, maturation of sperms, storage of sperms. Okay, clear? Transport of the sperms, maturation of sperms, storage of the sperms. Transport where? From the seminiferous tubule to the outside of the body through the process known as ejaculation. Clear? Now, the seminiferous tubules of the testis, they open into the vasa efferentia through the retitestis. The vasa efferentia leaves the testis and opens into the epididymis located along the posterior surface of each testis. Now, epidermis finally leads into the vas deferens that ascend into the abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder. This we have already discussed. Okay, now again here you can see the male reproductive system. Okay, now you can see this structure. Okay, now you can understand this structure. Ureter, you already know it is coming from the kidney. Seminal vesicle. This is the urinary bladder which stores the urine for some time. Vas efferentia. Vas deferens. Vas deferens is the part of the accessory duct system. Okay. Then you have this prostate gland. This is the penis, which is the copulatory organ, which helps in the transfer of the sperms. Okay, it helps in the insemination process. Then here is the urethra. Then glans, penis, foreskin, testis, scrotum, bulbourethral gland, rectum, anus, and ejaculatory duct. Okay. Now here you can see in this image, this is the accessory duct system: epididymis, vasa efferentia, retitestis. These are the testicular lobules which consist of the seminiferous tubules. And this is the testis, foreskin, urethra, urinary bladder, seminal vesicles here. Okay, vas deferens here. This is also a part of the accessory duct system. Okay, this also we have already seen. Now the urethra originates from the urinary bladder and extends through the penis to its external opening called the urethral meatus. Clear? Now the penis is the male external genitalia. What is penis? It is the male external genitalia. Clear? So we were talking about the external genitalia. It is one of the components of the male reproductive system. What is external genitalia? It consists of the penis. Okay. Now, it is made up of special tissues that helps in the erection of the penis to facilitate the insemination. So insemination is the transfer of the sperms, into the female genital tract. Now, for this, you need a specialized organ that is known as the penis. So this penis, it is made up of the specialized tissue, and whenever the blood rushes into this tissues or the cells, then the penis get erected, and this erection helps in the process of the insemination. The enlarged end of the penis, this is known as the glans penis, and is covered by a loose fold of skin called as the foreskin. So this is known as gland penis. It is the enlarged end of the penis, and it is covered by a loose fold of skin known as the foreskin. So this is the male reproductive system. What we have studied in this, we have studied the different components of the male reproductive system. So we studied about the testes. There are two pair of testes. Then we talked about the accessory duct system. So accessory duct system is consist of so many parts: retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and then vas deferens. Clear? Then we also talked about the external genitalia, which is the penis. And there are some glands also associated with the male reproductive system. Clear? So there are some secondary or the accessory glands which are associated with the penis, with the male reproductive system also. So in the next lecture, we will discuss about the female reproductive system. Okay, so female reproductive system, I'll give you a brief idea. It consists of ovary. Obviously, it consists of the ovaries, which are the primary sex organ. And ovaries will secrete what? It will secrete the female sex organ, sex hormone. It will secrete the estrogen as well as the progesterone. Clear? So in detail, we'll study the female reproductive system in the next lecture. Okay. Again, let's talk about the male accessory glands. Okay, male accessory glands, it includes the paired seminal vesicles, a prostate gland, and the paired bulbourethral glands. Okay. Clear? These glands, what are these glands? Seminal vesicles. So there were two seminal vesicles. There is a prostate gland as well as there is a bulbourethral glands. Clear? Now, secretion of these glands constitute the seminal plasma, okay, which is rich in fructose, calcium as well as certain enzymes. And seminal plasma, this will help in the formation of the semen. Okay, and semen, you know, it is rich in the sugar fructose. Okay, apart from the fructose, it consists of the sperms. Okay, so this fructose provide nourishment to the sperms. Clear? So what is the role of this accessory glands? These accessory glands, they help in the formation of the seminal plasma, which will later on help in the formation of the semen. Formation of the semen is very important because within the semen, sperms are present. Okay, and through the semen, the sperms are transferred to the female genital tract, and then the fusion of the sperm as well as the female gamete, which is the ovum, it takes place, leading to the formation of the zygote. Okay, now let's talk about the bulbourethral gland. So the secretion of the bulbourethral gland, they also help in the lubrication of the penis. Okay, so lubrication of the penis is very important so that the sperms can easily flow. Clear? So this lubrication of the penis is very important, and this is done by the secretion of the bulbourethral gland. Clear? So we have finished with the male reproductive system. Okay, there were 4 components we've already talked about. Okay, testes, there were a pair of testes, and then accessory ducts were present, accessory glands are present, and then external genitalia was present. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Okay, and you must have found this lecture very knowledgeable. I'll meet you in the next lecture. Okay, thank you very much for listening.